G'day guys, welcome to PBHQ Live. This is episode number 372. I'm Dwayne Nichols. I'm live here in Wagga with all of your paintball news from the week that has been and the week that is coming up. Got a bit on tonight. That sort of starts with the TXBL. That was the big event over the weekend in our region, the Thailand X-Ball League, which featured a bunch of Australian players. So that's probably the biggest thing coming out of this weekend. But Total War is coming up this upcoming weekend, and that's the last event, or the last big event for the year. So I hope if you're in and around the Sydney area, or if you can get to Sydney, and I know some people are traveling interstate from both Victoria and Queensland, that you'll be playing that one. If you are joining in, let me know who you are, where you're watching from. I am only live tonight on Facebook. This video will be uploaded to YouTube afterwards, but because in the past couple of weeks I've been pre-recording the show, and prior to that I'd been uploading to both at the same time, but I was having all sorts of streaming issues, so I just wanted to go to one this week and one next week and see if it's either of those that's causing me, trying to eliminate the problem, I guess is the best way to put it. But thank you for joining in. Make sure you jump in the chat and tell me who you are, and if you can, really importantly, hit the share button. Because I am only live on Facebook tonight, there will definitely be a couple of people that will be over on YouTube waiting for PBHQ and wondering why I'm not there, but I have posted about it. Hopefully everybody is familiar with that. Cooper is in at the moment. John O'Collins is in. I'm going to be talking about Cooper and a jersey up in the background in just a little bit. But before I do, paintballshop.com are a major sponsor of the show, and they get a mention at the start of every single week. Timmy Colgan joining in at the moment as well. Paintball Shop have got a whole bunch of deals going that have started in the last couple of days that are running through as a Christmas sale. So they're running through until Christmas Eve. This was the biggest deal of the bunch that I seen, and the one that I wanted to feature on the show tonight. If you buy a DLX TM40, they're already around $500 off, and then you're getting the Ballmaster kit for free included as well. So a saving of $700 over if you would have gone and bought it just a couple of weeks ago. Massive, massive saving. There's also 20% off things like dye i4 and i5 masks. I think you get, if you buy a dye DLS, you get a Rotor 2, like an R2 for free as well. There's a whole bunch of deals over at paintballshop.com at the moment. 20% off a whole bunch of things on top of this deal and the ones that I've just mentioned there prior. So massive savings to be had if you're looking to pick something up for Christmas, or if you want to show your partner or family or your mum or your dad, whoever might be buying for you this Christmas, a particular deal. Well, paintballshop.com might be the place where you want to guide them and show them the good deals and make it seem like they're saving a bunch of money and doing themselves a favor, when of course they're just doing you a favor by buying you more awesome paintball gear. David from the Malaysian X-Ball League, who is also tied up with and helping with the TXBL, is in the chat saying a great weekend in D2 for Australia at the TXBL. And yes, we will be talking about that in just a little bit. Russell from Crisis in New Zealand is in at the moment. Thank you for joining in. And tonight's a big night too, just for all of those things aforementioned, but also we're giving away the this little thing over here, the Tanks for Your Team prize. One of the biggest prizes ever given away on the show. I announced earlier at the beginning of this year that we would be doing that, and it was really well received, and I'm excited to do that. I've never given away, I've given away prizes worth more, but I don't think I've given away something that would kit out a whole team with like a particular item. So yeah, really, really cool. And I'm excited to give that away. And if you're a Patreon, if you're a supporter on Patreon, I went through and painstakingly went through the list earlier today. There was around 70-ish or 75-ish people on the list, but a couple of people had cancelled their subscriptions over the past couple of months that I hadn't removed off the list yet. There was also a couple of people that cards had been declined and that type of thing. I went through, checked it out, found out everyone who is current, and it is 66 people. So your chances, if you are eligible, 1 in 66, which is a lot better than your chances on Lotto or like essentially anything really. Your chances of winning on anything prize-based are incredibly low. But if you're watching right now and you're a patron of the show, 1 in 66. Michael Simpson is joining in at the moment, as is KGB. I assume they're both still in Thailand. I know Simo, I think he flies home from midnight tonight. So I hope you're enjoying your last little bit of time over in Thailand before you head home. Bit of news quickly. Pro Moves, X Factor have signed Matt Fuzzy Jackson from Impact. So don't think he's had the impact, pun intended, that he was sort of expected to have. The Jackson boys were just, with AC Dallas coming up, were like, they were just on fire for a while there. Their team was doing so well. And then you didn't really hear a whole lot, or at least I didn't. And admittedly, in the last year or two, I've sort of paid a little bit less attention to the pro division than I had in the past. But yeah, hadn't heard a lot about Matt Jackson the past couple of years. And then as a replacement, or not necessarily a direct replacement, but Mike Urena from Dynasty moving to Impact. So I think that's a good pickup. I think a guy like Mike Urena, you spend a couple of years under the guidance of the guys from Dynasty. He has just improved immensely. I can only imagine the amount that he has learnt in the past couple of years, and now he is moving on for more playing time. I think that's really cool. Emisa, I don't want to pronounce your name incorrectly, from Thailand, checking in from STK Entourage. Simo, also in Thailand. Brad Short is watching, presumably he's in Sydney at the moment, unless he's elsewhere in the world traveling around also. But thank you for joining in, guys. Dan Anderson is joining in as well at the moment. Thank you for checking it out. There was other pro moves too. Cody Mikowski has become a free agent. There was a couple of other little things that were rumored to be happening, and I don't know if the news has dropped on those ones yet. So I guess that I usually mention that January is when it really all starts to come together. Once Christmas and the New Year are out of the way and teams start practicing, players get seen elsewhere. Frank Antetomaso, who was with Brooklyn Bears, he's moved on, and I can't remember where to. KGB's on a yacht. Nice. Enjoy that. That was very PPG did that last year after the TXBL, so more power to you guys. Cooper says that he's just picked up a 2013 Dynasty Championship jersey. That's cool. So yeah. Oh, actually, and before I get on with actually, I want to mention one more thing just quickly here, and that is that the Wagga 3-man, I'd had people ask if I was going to be running this in January. It's sort of become a January tradition, and I really didn't have it penciled in for 2024, but being that a few people had asked about it, I've put it out there to expressions of interest. A couple of people have shown interest, and since I've announced that I'm willing to run it again, I'm still looking into getting referees. So if you want to play the event, obviously get in touch. I think 4 teams are already registered for that one. We're hoping to get up towards 8 with a cap of 10. But also, if you'd like to referee the event, well, that option is there too. Looking for a couple of referees, and obviously teams for the Wagga 3-man. A good social way to kick off the 2024 paintball season. Russell saying, glad I could join you all. COVID finally caught. I hope you're doing all right. Terevo, it was for Anti Tommaso. So thank you, Will, for the update there. Adam Cole saying, looking to buy a warp feed. Are you looking to buy, or are you looking to sell? I mean, I've definitely had people do deals and sell things in the chat of PBHQ before, but it's been some time. So if you want to make that happen, mate, more power to you. Drop it in the comments. Someone might jump on board if you're looking to move something on. And yeah, so I mentioned before that Cooper, I'd be talking about him, and up in the background of the show tonight is a 1-of-1 jersey that he had made last year, or perhaps the year before. And I actually don't think I got that little bit of information from him. But there was a time where he was going through a bit of anxiety and depression and that kind of thing, and had others close to him also going through that. And so that inspired him to make a jersey. And whilst it's up in the background and you can't see all of the detail, but it's obviously Japanese inspired with the koi fish on there. And shout out to Vatios, who did the design on this one and the printing on. It's the first one of their jerseys that I've seen in the flesh. The colors are super vibrant. The quality seems really good. So I've been keen to check one of them out for the longest time now, and get to do that with this jersey. But in addition to that, it's got things like it's okay. Let me make sure I get the wording right. It's okay to reach out is printed on the arms. It's also got the suicide helpline phone number printed down the center of the back. So a really cool one-of-one jersey that he got designed, and he thought it would be a good idea awareness-wise to send it over to me to be up in the background of the show and to sort of get the message out a little bit more. And further to that, he's gone and started an Instagram page to go a little bit further with the spreading of that message. And if he can remind me what the name of that Instagram page is in the chat, which we spoke about. Will is saying, where can the jersey is speaking my language, and where can you see it in full? Well, hold on. I'll see if I can swing back here, get it down without knocking anything over. So yeah, if we try and get the text along the shoulders there, so you see on one arm and the other, it's okay to reach out. 13, 11, 14 down the front. If I can get that up. This is on the back, and then the koi fish right over the front. This is what I'm saying. I don't know if everyone is familiar with Vartio's. Been doing a lot of stuff in the southeast of Queensland and up around the Coffs region. Teams all around there are sort of Trick Ramirez is the guy, is sort of getting on board with that. Yeah, the cherry blossoms across the back. So yeah, that's my first exposure to one of his jerseys. And I'll just make sure that's sort of all tucked back in there a little bit so it doesn't fall down. In the flesh, looks really, really cool. Obviously spreads a great message. So I was more than happy to do that for Cooper. PB Stay Aware is the Instagram page. So if you want to, after the show, jump over to Instagram and check out PB Stay Aware. I mean, we've had, and you've probably seen me literally crying on this show, announcing the passings of some people from within our community to suicide. It's just something that we should all talk about more and be there for one another. And thankfully, the paintball community is really good at this generally. But obviously, people have sort of slipped through the cracks there, and the message just needs to keep being repeated. So get on board with that one and check it out. James Rich is just joining in at the moment. Michael Namoski is joining in as well. So thank you for checking out the show. Quick mention here, I didn't mention Gladiatair as one of the major sponsors at the start of the show, and that's because I didn't want to give away too many spoilers for those who weren't already aware. Congratulations to STK Entourage. They were the winners of TXBL Division 2. If you want to use Gladiatair products like STK do, and like a lot of the people that were on the second place getting team, the OG boys, also use at the TXBL, you can go to gladiatair.com.au and find your nearest stockist. They have stockists here in Australia, in New Zealand, as well as throughout Asia. So if you want to use Gladiatair tanks like I do also, you can check them out. And if you want to work for Gladiatair, if you live around the Central Coast or Newcastle area, I think it's Cardiff, which is a suburb of Newcastle, they're based out of. They have a full-time job going. Drew, which will soon actually probably be 2 roles. Drew, who I've been dealing with for the last couple of years, he is traveling the world with his partner next year and leaving Gladiatair. And one of their other employers has recently left as well. So a little bit going on at Gladiatair. And if you want to work within the paintball industry and you live in the Newcastle area, well, maybe you need to head over to the Gladiatair Facebook page and check out all the details of that position. Will McDonald says, was watching my 2017 Super 7s videos the other day. Startling how many players aren't with us anymore. Yeah, absolutely. For obviously in regards to the suicide, yeah, there's a few there, and then guys like Tim Montressa. Otherwise, yeah, it's really incredible. I was out mowing today to give you a glimpse into what goes through my mind on any random day out mowing at Project Paintball at my field. And I was thinking about like the golden era that we went through here in Australia from 2017 to 2019 of US-based pros. There was 8-10 pros at any given event. Yeah, really, really incredible stuff. Speaking of pros playing events, little segue that I'm just going to create for myself there. the TXBL had this man out there. What a photo, by the way. Absolutely on the prowl. Harrison Fry of Dynasty out playing with the Philippines FAC. I don't know what the translation is on that. I don't know if that's a play on words. Absolutely no idea. But that's their team name. At least that's what it was listed as on the webcast. They got the win. And ATWA Stolen. These team names, and I'm familiar with a lot of teams throughout Asia, particularly teams that end up on podiums, because I see the same teams on podiums a lot over there. The Savage Ducks were a sort of a conglomeration of two teams there, but yeah, these team names are new to me, so congratulations to these guys winning in Division 1, and with Harrison out there. I think Mark Johnson was also out there from AC Diesel over the weekend, so a little bit of a pro presence at the TXBL. But what we really want to talk about here in Australia was the Division 2 results. This photo by Axe Media. STK Entourage, they were the winners of Division 2, beating OG Boys Australia, which is a team comprising of a couple of guys from PPG in Sydney. Simo from here in Wagga joined up with those guys. Alex Kith, who had played with PPG in Canberra a little bit, was based out of Canberra, a team called Anomaly, before moving to Thailand. He's a local in Thailand now. And then a couple of Thai-based players, including Paul from OG Boys, from OG Wear, sorry. They got second at the event, and Canyon Paintball from Malaysia getting third. The interesting point on this one, STK Entourage had Mo join them, who was over playing with Eastside Raw in Division 1. You were able to play in both divisions and have one Div 1 player down in Div 2. Eastside Raw, in fact, missed finals and didn't have a good event from all accounts there. Sort of got their things together a little bit too late, winning their last prelim, but by that point, they had missed the race for finals. But yeah, STK Entourage, they went through in Division 2 as the top seed after prelims. So they had sort of had their way with everybody through the prelims, it seems. And OG Boys, on the other hand, of the 8 teams in their division, they finished 6th, scraped into finals, had to go the full journey to make it to the grand final. So they were the lowest ranked finals team, went through to make the final, only to lose to STK. And with 30 seconds to go, it was 2-1 STK Entourage's way. And a big move by a couple of OG Boys players resulted in a red flag. So that led it to be 3-1. And yeah, that was the end result for that one. I really appreciate that. I watched another game earlier in the day, and it might have even been the OG Boys versus Kenyon to get into the grand final. And it was 2-0, or the game was close enough. And with like a minute to go, all the guys from Kenyon were just sitting in their bunkers. I would rather, in my opinion, rather be OG Boys and lose to a red flag with 30 seconds to go, trying to make something happen, than sitting in my bunker and doing nothing. So yeah, no discredit whatsoever to the OG Boys there, but another great result overseas for the STK Entourage guys. I think that was either, and if KGB's still in, he can tell me. Oh, Nemesis Legion, NL, that would make sense. I didn't even pick up on that. Yeah, the guys, it might have been their 6th overall international trip, and I know they've had some people make most of the trips and some haven't. But Kai, Pavel, I think, Hunter, I think these guys have made 5 or 6 of the trips. So massive commitment to get international paintball exposure so many times throughout the year. What else? Oh, and then Division 3, and I do have to apologize too. I love this photo, by the way. Pattaya Battlefield, so the hometown team, Division 3 winners, Blue Lock 2nd and 273 Crew 3rd. I don't know a whole lot about the Division 3, but last week on the show when I was mentioning the teams that were going to be playing from Australia, mentioning Eastside Raw, STK, the OG Boys, I completely missed that there was 2 black flag teams playing there. There was one in Division 3 and one in Division 2. Now, neither of those teams made it onto the podium. One made finals and one missed out. Yeah, the Skeletons of the Black Flag was one, and the other were known as Flamingo Squad. Totally missed them, and I apologize for that. Woody flicked me a message. So 5 teams from Australia representing over at TXBL. Really cool to see the turnout from those guys. And if you haven't seen the photos from Black Flag yet, Their Flamingo Squad kit is one of the most ridiculous and vibrant and like in-your-face kits I have ever seen. Jersey, pants, the whole deal. Yeah, you've sort of got to see it to believe it, and I probably should have queued up a photo. Yeah, really incredible stuff. And Kai saying 8th overall, 7th for him. Man, yeah, incredible. Really incredible. And congratulations to you guys on the success that you've had this year. Massive, massive effort to play that many events, even at home, but particularly overseas. Quick preview, Total War coming up this weekend, Operation Iron Ghost. Mike said they're expecting between 120 to 140 players, but over 100 for sure. Entry is only $40 per person if you've got an action pass, and then you buy your paint after that. And custom jerseys are now available if you want a UEF jersey or a SASR jersey for the two teams that play Total War. You can get your own jersey with your name and number on the back. They have a Velcro patch on the sleeve. So they are available now, and they're the new Ventilate jerseys that paintballshop.com are doing as custom jerseys. It is not too late to register if you want to play Total War this weekend. Get your name down, jump over to totalwar.com.au to register. I think that's nearly everything that I have to do before the big giveaway. Let me just check my list here. Yeah, it's looking good. Let me jump over to this. It's gonna, the light from my other monitor, it's like the brightness settings on my wife's phone. Far too bright for my liking, but that website does not work, is not compatible with dark mode on my browser. So really, like, yeah, poor stuff there. But firstly, this is all the stuff that I have given away this year. And I think it's the biggest list of prizes that I've ever given away. And such has been the trend this year because of a whole bunch of factors. Less paintball being played, particularly in places like Victoria. I lost quite a few Patreon supporters from down that way over the course of the year. It's now 66 people that are eligible for the November and December prizes. I have the list queued up and ready to go for tonight. Someone is going to win tanks for their team. And then in December, the $2,000 shopping spree. Spoke with Mike Wybrew on the phone last week about that. And the $2,000 shopping spree in particular, I'm really going to break the bank on that one. But I committed to it well and truly in advance. And I'm not going to take that prize away from the people that have supported the show for so long. And if you want to, you still can. Patreon.com/PBHQ. You won't be eligible for this prize, obviously, tonight, or the $2,000 shopping spree at paintballshop.com next month. But all of the prizes that we put together for next year, you will, of course, be eligible for right from the start. Let me go to this one right here. If you've been watching the show in the past, or if you're familiar with the way that I do these giveaways, all the names here, like I said, I'm pretty sure it was 66. I'm going to randomize the list 3 times. If you are in the number 1 spot after 3 randomizers, you will be the winner of tanks for your team. So let's randomize the list. First time around, and let me grab this graphic and move it down so you can see with me, 66 people. Number 1 is Angus Renton this time around, but that doesn't matter. Not yet, at least. We're going to scroll down, and I'm going to hit again. Number 2, Callum is in the first position. And then we scroll down one more time, just so you guys can all see it. So I've randomized the list 2 times. Third and final time for the winner. Let's make our way up. Tom Hitchman. Now, I'm pretty confident, and I don't know Tom's name well, but I think Tom only signed up to the Patreon at the beginning of this year. So I might be wrong, and I'd need to check on it. And if someone wants to tag him, let me know. Tom is in South Australia. I don't think he's been in paintball all that long. Will McDonald saying that's my guy. Tell me more about Tom if you can briefly in the chat, Will. I think he signed up earlier this year. And if that is the case, in the region of 80 to 90 Australian dollars, and he's going to be walking away with a prize that is worth in the region of, I think about $1,800 to $2,000. He's way OG. Okay. He might have been around for a long time and only signed up to the Patreon earlier this year. But congratulations, Tom, all the same. I'll be reaching out either tonight or tomorrow to explain what your prize is and how to get it. So congratulations, mate. And that's the first bit of good paintball news out of South Australia in the past couple of weeks, of which has been a pretty upsetting and sad time in South Australian paintball in the last couple of weeks. So some good news for those guys. And I'm going to close that browser. Look at that. You can see the light drop away there so quickly. So congratulations, Tom. Thank you to everybody who continues to support the show via Patreon. And if you want to have some input on what prizes I will give away next year, yeah, drop me a comment, send me a message, make some suggestions, and we'll make it happen for 2024. Thanks for checking out the show, guys. Have a great week. Hit the like button, the love button, the share button, most importantly, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.